no pushing lanes compositions, and you're like, wait a minute. I don't know about this one, guys. So yeah, I guess Ali's going to be the source of reason.
Yeah, we're going to run through these picks and bans one more time real quick. Qiao again returning to that Lee Sin, Shen, and Jin. And we saw the immediate pickup of Nami for Ali once again. So despite all of the pressure towards that bottom lane, it'll be interesting to see if he actually does intend to return to that Nami. Yeah, the Braum was in fact the incorrect ban from OMG.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. It makes absolutely no sense that the Braum would be banned here. Because
He's sending a message.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, 5 could play it, but...
And it looks like it's going to be the Rise ban. That was it. You know, the Nasus pick too. You know, get that in there.
Of course.
But yeah, no, it was actually a Rise ban. So that's fun to see. That they're just looking to ban that up against DoomB.
I like how they don't even care about the order anymore. Like it was Lee Sin, Jin, and then Shen. But Kabe just picks up Shen.
Yeah, it's the first phase, so the first phase is already completed for the most part. So.
Efficiency. They're saving themselves time from swapping later. All right, running through these next set. Once again, Thresh, Tom Kench, and Lulu. And the ban was intended to be a rise towards DoomB. And we actually did see the LeBlanc hover from Icon before we got out. So perhaps Icon looking back towards those assassins.
Yeah, it could be. I think it's going to be tough for Icon to really go towards it. I think the Syndra would make sense because he's just trying to get a good blind pick for himself here, where Qiao will 100% get counter pick. So it's always difficult to get that assassin pick, knowing that you're 100% going to be in a disadvantage. So the Braum does go through.
And Ali actually is going to take up the Braum.
Yeah, that makes sense. So they're going to give them the Braum. And so the question is, what support is OMG willing to take into that? Braum? I mean, Bard is what I meant. He's pretty good into it. Nami, I suppose, as well. So Nami and Braum would be a good 2-punch. And I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. They're just trying to give 5 Nami at this point because he has control of his own pick.
Yeah, with that, though, Icon blind picking LeBlanc into DoomB's massive champion pool.
I mean, LeBlanc, I think that's still fair. Especially since they banned Rise, that meant that they wanted to go towards the LeBlanc anyways, which has been something that they've been afraid of, is the Courage of the Colossus Rise. Yeah. Because it's just better in team fights overall, and it can lock you down. So this is what I want to see, because this pick did get a buff. Vladimir's Crimson Rush and his passive on his Qs got nerfed actually, but his regular Q did get a massive buff. We saw this with Kuzan and Jin Green Wings did pick it up in the LCK. He was pretty big too, but the problem is, of course, is that his team did end up losing. you don't automatically have shove, and even in this lane specifically, you do lose shove. It's just you scale up and you look to team fight.
Well, it seems like Qiao might be anticipating that. They've got Jin and Braum in the bottom lane, not exactly a huge shove lane. Lee Sin, very mobile in the jungle, very capable of matching the movements of LeBlanc if he's able to get there just a little bit faster. Yeah. And Kabe on that huge Shen.
That is a very scary composition coming out of Qiao. If they don't bleed out early, then their composition of Shen, Vlad, I mean Lee Sin just for the kicks, and the setup between Braum and Jin, like that setup is so good, and you should always be afraid of Vladimir coming in with a flank. So that's something that they should be really wary of. It's just that Qiao definitely has to play the early game well. And by well, I mean not insta-lose the bottom lane with Jin and Braum.
Yeah.
And Vladimir has to stay safe as well, because he's going to get shoved in, and the worry here is that even if you get chained, I'm pretty sure you still get
take
locked
the damage
down.
when those chains catch you.
You get damaged and you still get locked down, so if the gank does come through, you are not having a good time.
Well, all eyes are going to be on that mid lane as the very explosive Icon is in fact returning to an assassin, and DoomB taking one of the safest mid laners into it with that Vladimir, though, as you said, the interactions are still certainly going to be volatile. And this time, OMG, they've got Graves, they've got Maokai, and they've also got a pretty strong bottom lane in Caitlyn and Nami. So suddenly it seems like OMG might have found those comfort picks.
Yeah, they definitely found it. I mean, whenever you look at Caitlyn for SMLZ, it's been the champion that he's gone towards time and time again historically. So it's fun to see him back on the champion once again. And of course they have Graves and Maokai, which is just a lot of DPS. So even though the LeBlanc isn't so hot in team fights, you definitely have a lot of ways to make up for it. A lot of OMG fans out there.
Yeah, they are definitely hyped about this. And the Qiao fans echoing quietly behind them. Not quite as many Qiao fans in the audience today.
I mean, what stinks is, what if the OMG chants went through first, man? They went through first. They're so loud. They're hyped. They're angry because they lost the first game.
Yeah.
Then they suddenly call for a Xiao chance. Everyone looks at each other like, I'm not, you know, you go first.
We're just going to win.
No, they're afraid. They say you go first. I don't want to. I mean, the angry OMG fans right beside me.
Oh, and take a look at this. Even going for the Deathfire touch on Doinby. He's going to be so annoying in lane.
Yeah.
Bond of Stone on Ali. Not going to take any chance with Grasp of the Undying, which we saw earlier, or that Courage of the Colossus. And everything else appears to be fairly standard as well.
Yeah, Bond of Stone is just the mastery for Braum. And Bond of Stone is not even that good of a mastery, so that's why Braum just has a tough time here. So overall, I mean, I like the Deathfire touch on Vladimir. This is the kind of thing you'll see a lot, is him trying to force these trades because he does have sustain as well.
Oh, World 6 and Qiao going for the late invade are going to find Clid. They do a lot of damage early on, and immediately Qiao have got to back away. It's already down to 600 health. World 6 with his smite is going to take it. That's level 2. Kabe stays for some reason and is forced to flash over the wall.
Yeah, Kabe had no reason to stay there, especially since Clid has already looked to concede this. He was nowhere near interested. Oh, if that hit Candy 7, he would have had it. A tough level 1.
Oh, they haven't gotten a single minion so far. This push pressure out of SMLZ in 5 already rearing its ugly head. And with World 6 invading in the jungle, OMG seems like they're back on the ball.
Yeah, this is tough for Clid now. Because now that he got abused and he lost his Raptors camp, red buff as well, what is he going to do? World 6 is already just walking through the lane because he knows he's taking
sending a message.
He's taking the quickest path to be able to deal with this. 5 is helping him as well.
Yeah, he's on top of a ward right now. The bubble is going to miss. Clid gets in there, but Smite is going to secure blue buff. Clid is now level 2, but that's double exhaust traded for those supports. Doinby is forced to pull himself over there as well, and even has to use the Ghost to get away from this, as OMG are just bullying Clid out of the game 3 minutes in.
Yeah, that's something that World 6 is not afraid to do. He did it last time on the Lee Sin, and he got first blooded that long time ago, last week, or at least 2 weeks ago. And that's, like, this time around, it works well for him. He's able to just bully out 8 CS to 2. And he's going to back now, but that's because he knows fully well that he can just go back, go straight towards the bottom side of the map, have full control of his Krug, his Raptors. He's going to get so much experience out of his own jungle. Lee Sin lost out in quite a bit.
Yeah, not even the consolation prize of Scuttlecrab is going to give him too much. As Clid is microing as best he can. Bubble will catch Ali as he continues to take harass. SMLZ and 5 continue to keep up the pressure in that bottom lane. And suddenly, Qiao find themselves just a little bit behind in this early game, as blue buff now going to be given over to World 6. 3 buffs, 3 buffing Qiao.
Well, yeah, definitely.
He'll eventually get down to his red buff. Like, in what world can Clid safely invade that red?
Not any world.
not in this game, at least.
But yeah, World 6 started off pretty strongly, so...
Oh, you know what the answer should have been? In what world can he invade? World 6. Missed it by that much. Here are the LeBlanc changes in 7.3.
It's pretty good for level 7 to 13. You actually lose quite a bit in terms of your damage. I mean, it's not. It's like literally just like 10 damage, right? And so it's fairly small. But the difference between like the problem for this is that the identity for LeBlanc is that she can just auto shove in her own lane and then roam. Auto shove, roam. Auto shove, roam. This kind of hits that a little bit and makes certain matchups just a tiny bit better. And we're even seeing a little bit more nerfs coming in. I think there are some in PBE, but it's just getting worse for LeBlanc.
Yeah, World 6, even catching Clid, trying to do the Scuttle Crab, and he's forced to take the long way out before hopping over the wall to see that his Gromp has been taken too. World 6 is just not having a great time. He's going to try to take Raptors, but at a large cost to his health. Before World 6 finishes off his red buff.
Yeah, Clid's definitely not having a fun time. I mean, at the very least, even though he's at a point where he's slightly behind Graves, who's just about to finish through his Raptors and should go towards his Krugs. Like, that's just the opposite. He should go towards. Yeah. He's still actually doing okay. Like, he's definitely been at a proper point, and that's because Graves hasn't really hit him as hard as he should have. Where when he walked downwards, really initially, I guess when he took red buff, took Raptors, went through mid lane, he went to contest blue buff when I believe he should have just taken his own camps and just farmed up. Because then he was able to just kind of just play that farm game, say you can take blue buff, but at that point I'm just miles ahead of you.
Yeah. World 6 a full 2 levels up right now. Oh boy. He's even going to steal away this Gromp. Come on, man. World 6 is getting some revenge for 5 in that previous game.
Yeah.
He is playing some really mean League of Legends as Clid clears out the Gromp, or excuse me, the Krugs on respawn. Cannot safely invade the top side of the map because there's nothing Kabe can do to help him out. Doinbe's not going to be able to follow up as well.
That's the big point, is that usually when you see these trades, or at least the initial point of World 6 coming in to take Gromp, you're like, is there a response to this? Not really, because maybe he can get collapsed on. That's a definite worry, because Icon right now has constant shove-in as well. But also because it's just not up. He cleared that up before even doing it. And that just comes to the season changes where, you know, the camps definitely have a longer cooldown of actually coming right back up. And so now teams are just setting up for constant invades toward these camps. If you lose a massive camp, then you just lose so much experience.
The red buff is spawning as well, and World 6 is already on the way towards it. Spotted out by a ward, and actually that's teleport being used from Kabe to get himself back up into the top lane. But trying to finish this off. He's a full level down. He almost has the smite, but World 6 is there. He sees it.
Oh.
Clid gets the red buff, but will he escape with his life? The slow lands, and World 6 just harasses him. Finally, from under the nose of OMG, he's able to get a camp in his own jungle.
Yeah, but the positive point for that, for World 6, is that you're still constantly shoving into him, which means that Doinby has to watch out here.
Yeah, immediately drops the Sanguine Pool. Doesn't want to take any chance that the chain will even land.
So that's something you have to watch out for. I mean, Doinby will never have the support of his jungler, because he's constantly getting shoved in. And that just means LeBlanc knows that he's completely free in the lane. Top side as well. Bottom lane is just constantly auto-shoving in the lane with a massive CS difference here, 20 CS, and that's just because A, it's a winning matchup, but B, Clid is never in position to help out because he's trying to help himself right now.
Yeah, this is a bit interesting. Might be looking to catch 5 on the recall timing. What presence of mind to see this coming. Sonic Wave is going to land onto 5, but he doesn't follow it up. Decides to let that Nami go with a warning. And again, 5 caught on a blind warding mission. Qiao Gu says, we've got your number.
Yeah, it doesn't turn into much, but it was very close to it. Now, Five's going to look at that and say, okay, maybe next time. Maybe next time I'll not do that. Maybe I'll bring World 6 along with me.
Ooh, Doinby does some damage.
Yeah, that was a Crimson Rush one. Those hurt so much. Even though it got nerfed on that on this patch, but it still is pretty massive.
Once again, they're going to spot 5, this time just a few seconds behind, and clear out a ward. Clid makes his way bottom and hacks his lane, as you do. Meanwhile, Doinby continues to trade with Icon, looking for that Crimson Rush. Now the Infernal Drake is a huge priority here, and Clid, despite being down 2 levels, is keeping up just a bit, only down 6 CS overall, because he has been getting so many Krugs. And that Gromp is up as well, along with his Direwolves. Question is, will he get the luxury of taking it, or will World 6 invade?
I think right now Clid's in a good spot. Reason for that is Doinby is starting to trade well into the match. But that being said, here's an all-in.
Yeah, that's going to be Stand United out of Kabe to try to get onto him. Flash
taunt
Kabe again! You can't just do that! Oh man, that was brutal. Doinby ghosts to make his way out of mid lane as the teleport
this
completes.
Is gonna be awkward.
Here
Go back
World
and execute
6.
yourself.
He's going to have to give the kill over. He's about to walk into SMLZ now. He sees it.
That would easy do.
There he goes. Walks into the lane. Tries to transfuse. Can you dodge the aggro?
Oh
he dodged the turret aggro. Doinby is going to get out of here.
He's scot free. He's a free man. Maokai's about to head him off, so he might actually just execute himself on the tower. You know what? This time he's got it.
Xiang is wasting a lot of time. Doinby finally looking for the execution. Spotted out by the vision up there. He's making his way on up.
Wait a second.
Here comes Xiang. Turret hit. Is going to execute Doinby. Meanwhile, Qiao Gu taking definite advantage of the fact that so many people were pulled to chase Doinby. Take that first Infernal Drake, and Qiao Gu, despite coming to a rough start, find themselves with the advantage.
Yeah, and let's rewind that. That was incredible by Kabe. It almost didn't work out because you could see that Doinby wasn't expecting the flash taunt.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the flash taunt. So he's like, oh, wait, okay, I'll get it. I'll come in with you. They get the kill on it, and he's able to execute himself. So overall, that was a major win from Qiao. And
It's
the
still,
Infernal.
yeah, it's dead even in gold, but they get that first blood, they get that first dragon, and Qiao now find themselves right back in this. That's going to be so important as this game goes on. Now, World 6 is going to try to force this turret down with their pressure advantage from SMLZ and 5. They should be able to take this, so there are a lot of pings coming down. Doinby's on his way, we get it. And the turret still goes down, yeah.
There's not much he can do there. Definitely wasn't going to be able to get there in time because he was just coming, reviving back. Interesting is that he went towards Abyssal Scepter, which is going to be really good into dealing with Icon. It should be really hard for Icon. Usually it's a tough decision between, okay, should I get that? I mean, old Vlad would have probably gotten Spirit Visage, but that's just, it doesn't work like that anymore. Or at least it's a tough one. But I mean, it's 2B. Maybe he does that. Or just Proto Bell. This time it's just easier because he's just dealing with the individual matchup. So Icon now probably has to worry a lot more about the trades that he's going for.
Yeah. Still getting a big proc on that Sigil of Malice as he's getting closer and closer to breaking even on those nerfs. And Icon actually has not quite gotten the ability to roam yet, as Doinby has just been keeping pace with him. That's the chains landing. Once again, here comes World 6. Doinby is slowed! Sanguine Pool, but he's going to come right on top of it. Able to heal himself up, but it's nowhere near enough. That's the Hemo Plague, just for funsies. And a teleport now being used by Kabe to try to hold on to that lane as OMG lane swap SMLZ to the top side of the map.
There we go. That works out for him. And the problem with this now is that Caitlyn's positioned himself to the top side, which is why he decided to TP there, is because he wasn't going to be able to get that top wave at all. B, that's a cannon minion wave, so he can just get it and back away. So that's fair to him. Now the interesting point is the pressure that OMG have started to just send towards that top lane, whether or not it's going to work. Traps are already coming through.
Got a lot of people up there. Candy 7's trying to get in range of those minions, but with World 6 right there and the ace in the hole going out, he's going to have to play very cautious as 2 waves stack up just in time. Ali actually forces this. World 6 is knocked up. Tidal Wave is going to be soaked up, but the double bubble stops Kabe from chasing.
That was such a good bubble from 5. That was really solid. And on top of that, I mean, that was a really desperate all-in, I would say, from QG. They could have waited a little bit more. In fact, they actually could have just baited them in towards the tower because Braum makes it very difficult for you to start to siege onto it.
Yeah.
Once he puts up his shield, and if you auto, you take a counteract. So they have to bounce away from it. So that's something they could have looked towards. Either way, I mean, what they've lost here is Shen ulti. He's back into his lane, and maybe it just makes it easier for OMG to try and pressure up here.
Oh, the big fourth grenade. And
healed up.
Yeah. I was so excited for a second, then, oh, wait, no. Never mind. As OMG now find themselves looking to press back into Qiao Gu's territory. World 6 cheating forward. He's going to be spotted now as this cannon wave is going to end up getting cleared out. Elite doesn't have his ultimate. There's no Stand United, and Icon is roaming up there as well. Despite Klid being there, it's not going to do anything to stop this. Even teleport being used from Qiao to join the fight. Elite might have to sacrifice his life as they retreat all the way to the tier 2. Doinby's on his way, but Kabe's on the other side of the map with no way to get there. So the top tier 1 goes down, and OMG forced this successfully.
Yeah, Vlad just has to go right back mid because he's not going to be able to get anything off of it. So the flank pressure, not going to mean too much. OMG are able to get that pick. They were so close to being able to get Ali. Ali doesn't have his ulti either, so he just uses a splash to get out of that chain altogether. Really good rotation coming in from OMG.
Doinby continues to eat harass from Icon. He ain't afraid of no Vladimir as he's catching this minion wave that continues to be shoved in again and again. So we're up to about a 2,000 gold lead at the 15-minute mark. OMG on these comfort picks are showing much greater resilience than they did in game number 1. World 6 going to chase Doinby out of his jungle right now as Crimson rushes to heal back up. Klid tries to follow up, and Doinby forced to use the Tides of Blood to get out of there. But
I don't know.
Not enough. Klid gets way too deep.
Yeah, that was way too deep. And he was just trying to help Doinby, who's just randomly trying to contest Raptor's camp for no reason, alone. And so he just gets caught out, pulls Klid into it, and it turns into OMG looking to siege the mid lane.
Yeah, Doinby continues to eat some damage. Ali is there, and he's got an ultimate, but I'm not sure that's something that you want to use just to defend that turret. Doinby tries to clear out the wave and will succeed, but that turret chipped down to half. Xiang's on the other side of the map, split pushing against Kabe's Shen, keeping him occupied while Icon's on the other side of the map. So 3 pressure points from OMG.
Oh.
And Qiao are not responding.
DoinB has to watch out. He is so low. If he gets hit by that.
Yeah. Uses the Sanguine Pool to get himself out of there. Qiao even trying to contest this blue buff. Will be spotted out by Kabe and Clit, but World 6 is there as well. It is an elaborate trap. Qiao gets caught by the taunt, but he is a very tanky tree. Can they kill him as Ali is on his way on with Candy 7? They open up.
Really low.
2, 3, 4.
Oh.
He's going to hit him. But Kabe, does he have enough? Almost has a Shadow Dash. He actually lands it, but Clit gets baited in. There's the Stand United side by side with him, and Kabe can't cancel. That means World 6 is able to flash to safety. Bubble dodged. As a quick Winter's Bite forces SMLZ back.
Great positioning to be able to get the damage off across both Clit and DoinB, so neither of them died. Really solid. Overall, Qiao just it's coming back and forth. It's such a ping-pong game.
I think the thing was that, yeah, Qiao got the kill, but they invested so much into it, and they haven't been able to take anything off of the kill.
Yeah,
Xiang's already back up, and with Icon diving under this turret, Candy 7 chunk low, SMLZ is going to be chipping away, and the mid-tier 1 goes down. So despite the fact that they lost their Maokai, OMG still succeed with the play they were shooting for.
Yeah, and so that's the thing right now. OMG is able to constantly look to pressure towards these towers. That's just the early strength of the Caitlyn right here, and the reason why they can't do much about it is because there's no wave clear in the mid lane as the AD carry. They're just trying to cop pressure a lot, and it comes to the scaling of Vladimir, it comes to this, I would say now, I suppose, the usefulness and the utility of Jhin. So right now, Qiao has a problem in which they're just trying to hold the game firm, but right now OMG is just pushing it through.
Yeah, they are having a lot of trouble stopping this pressure from OMG. World 6 now going to take the Mountain Drake, which is going to help so much at breaking down these turrets, especially when you've got Caitlyn pressuring forward. We'll see if he decides to go for the rapid fire cannon Caitlyn.
Ooh, yeah.
Just to even get those bigger shots every once in a while, proccing the big hits onto the turret.
Yeah, he's looking across the map to see, you know, there's a lot of armor coming across there. 3 tank lines, essentially, since you kind of expect Clit to go towards armor as well. So he's probably just going to get the, you know, Runan's Hurricane into just Last Whisper. Maybe, I wouldn't say Mortal Reminder. Maybe for,
Lord Dominic's against Vlad.
Maybe Mortal Reminder. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's possible.
But that's a bit of the challenge, because you're going to have that tanky Braum, Lee Sin, and Shen, and you can stop their healing, or you can get the Lord Dominic's and get the Shred on DoinB instead. So tough choice.
He just went back to buy. I want to see what item he got. Okay, it's the IE.
Infinity Edge first. Yeah. All right. Priorities. That's DoinB. Just get some damage onto Qiao. We get closer and closer to the 20-minute mark, and OMG have got control of this game. 3,000 gold as Icon continues to look to harass Candy 7 before popping back from that distortion. And Qiao, they want to stall this out. Will they get the luxury? How does OMG prevent Qiao from stalling this?
Yeah, I think for OMG, they're going to be looking towards the objectives, because they're pretty happy about their team fighting, or at least their later game portion as well. Right now, they have full priority and pressure. If they can have, they already have LeBlanc in the bottom lane to consistently shove out, and they have Caitlyn in a great position, so they can just continuously put them Qiao in this bad of a position until the next objective comes up, which could be that next dragon. It's an Earth Dragon, so that's something that they would like to go towards. Sure, Baron buff is coming up soon, but they're not really that interested. I'm surprised they didn't try and go towards Rift Herald. That would have been pretty good for the Graves. But overall, they're just trying to play it slow, waiting for power spikes here, because Caitlyn is not too a comfortable team fighting power spike. Yeah. Jhin should be far more effective right now. So as long as that she can get towards some attack speed items, then that'll be pretty good for him.
Only the Zeal completed, not getting as many headshots across as you would like, especially if she is going for that Runaan's build that you talked about. And then it's only another 1,300 gold for the Last Whisper, and you sort of just want to stagger that out a bit, as Icon looks to be going towards his Luden's Echo. Still needs a good 1,250 for the NLR, but DoinB is caught. Uses Stand United from Kabe to bring him in onto World 6. What is the damage? He has an Abyssal Scepter and chases over onto Icon, forces him away. Qiao teleports, but he gets there just a bit too late. Gets back onto DoinB, but Kabe should be able to follow up. There goes the curtain call. Another set of bullets is going to find Qiao. Fourth bullet isn't going to do too much, as that is a very tanky Maokai, but he doesn't have any magic resist. There's the redemption.
Double
and the
bubble.
knockup finds 5. He does get the double bubble, but Doinby is going so deep. Exhaust is going to do nothing to stop his healing, and 5 is the guy who's caught. Doinby is just non-stop going. The big bounce is going to get that kill onto 5.
My God, when it comes, oh, it comes hard. That was ridiculous. Doinby was able to get the kill because he just does so much damage, and his E is constantly spamming through, so his team fighting is incredibly solid. So it just started off with what it felt like a pick onto Doinby, but Doinby had Kabe, Shen ulti to really help him out, and he already used his ulti, which just was, let's take a look at this one. So just take a look at it. Doinby, Zonia's as well, I believe. He's at a good position right here, and just take a look at how much damage he's doing at Icon here, with just 2 abilities. I'm surprised the Deathfire Touch didn't actually kill him in that position. So
the immediate potion consumption. Qiao tries to turn it, but has a sense of regret.
Yeah, and I mean, Qiao right here, he's just getting slowed after slowed after slow. And so this was a great bubble from 5. This could have been really good. But if you just see Doinby, he's moving forward time and time again, and SMLC has to walk away. There's no position for him to continue the team fight because of how much damage, and that was, that was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, how much damage was coming through, Caitlyn was not going to be able to do much there.
With the Runans finished, SMLZ might finally be able to fight now, but Qiao half a step ahead. Protobelt picked up by Doinby, and we've already got the Hex Drinker finished off for Candy 7, so we can survive a little bit more of the onslaught coming out of Icon. In answer, that is a serrated Dirk as the Edge of Night is on its way for World 6, but Qiao super tanky with the Sunfire and his Spectre's Cowl. Icon tries to sneak into a bush, but I'm pretty sure Doinby's okay with that.
Yeah, he might have a bit of a tough time in terms of dealing with Icon right now, but there we go. He just doesn't want to get jumped by Vlad, by LeBlanc, especially since he doesn't have this stand. I guess Stand United is back up again.
Yeah, short cooldown after level 11.
Yeah, you know what? He wants to go in.
Yeah, Shen's a pretty good champion.
He's not gonna. He's just fine with it.
Oh, there goes the Protobelt. He lands the Hemoplague as well, so he knows exactly which one to go for. Flash over the wall, and Icon survives with sub 40 health.
And that's the difficulty with the matchup. He's already scaled up. He only has 2 items, but he's able to just outright demolish Icon in the split push. So right here, what is the LeBlanc going to do at this point? He's going to go towards I guess he's going to get a little bit more AP. He's trying to get a Luden's Echo here now.
Yeah.
But even with the Luden's Echo, he can never split push versus Doinby. Doinby will always be able to kill him. So pick potential seems to be the only one they can go towards. And right now, he needs to play towards the rest of the team's composition, because the rest of the team is actually really strong for team fighting.
Yeah, and look at how OMG are responding to that. They're sending Qiao to deal with Doinby now, which means Icon has to deal with Kabe, swapping top versus mid. That certainly could be an opportunity for Qiao to use a bit of a pressure advantage. A lot more mobility on that Shen than there is on the LeBlanc.
Yeah, LeBlanc is going to be able to deal with the Shen. LeBlanc should be able to push a little harder, maybe even bullying Kite out the Shen. It's going to take a lot longer, maybe even just lead out the mana. But I guess they're going to be able to get this dragon.
Yeah, Mountain Drake picked up quick and easy for OMG. Their second mountain now. So if they ever get an opportunity to get onto that Baron, it's going to be huge. Caitlyn getting headshots plus World 6 on that Graves.
Yeah. And they have the Qiao to be able to tank it.
Ooh, Lee gets the wall up in time.
So there we go. You're right. This is a good point for OMG, where they're constantly getting stronger and stronger. Runans has already been finished right here on the Caitlyn. Getting to a point where now she's turning stronger, and sure, it's hard for her to join these team fights up against Jin. Aw, you know what?
Doinby doesn't even care about the turret. He's just walking in from behind with Kabe. Clid goes a bit too deep looking for SMLZ, though. He's going to eat too much damage from World 6, but they get the support in trade. Another flash taunt from Kabe gets Doinby a double kill. Candy 7 was left all by his lonesome, though, and World 6 flashes away from the concussive blows. Kabe in the front locks the stun up onto Qiao as Icon looking for a way to get in, trying to get onto somebody, but the taunt is going to land onto World 6. He tries to sidestep, but goes down to Ali, and Doinby is unstoppable with now a triple kill when the fight is all said and done. But that was 4 for 2, favoring Qiao.
Yeah, Doinby is a beast right now, and it's because he can continuously spam out his E. If he continues to stay alive, he's chasing you down. to the edge of the earth. This man is a beast. We'll have to see. LeBlanc just feels very useless right now. That's a big worry, is that she couldn't really do much there. Because if she is ever exposed to Doinby.
Yeah, I mean, Icon got the assassination onto Candy 7, but a lot of good that did them with how big Doinby is right now. You can't even fight with him.
Yeah,
he just heals up.
He tried. At least now he knows his limits there. But just to take a look at this, Doinby is trying to set up for this entire play. Clid kind of helps SMLZ, I'm not going to lie. Clid puts SMLZ in a position where he's a little bit safer, but with that being said, Kabe is able to get the taunt flash, so that works out for them. And then it's a 3v3, where, you know, Icon, he doesn't have much HP under his belt, but it's going to be World 6 and Qiao, but then look at how Doinby is positioning himself. For sure, he's doing constant damage to Qiao, but he's walking forward, so Icon can never really get any damage. And so, I mean, and World 6 is just never going to be able to walk up. So just look at this man.
Yeah, Doinby is happy about his performance in this set. And suddenly the Vladimir, we were raising some eyebrows earlier, but the full damage Vlad is doing some work for Qiao Gu. And they now find themselves dead even in goals with OMG, despite being down 2 turrets, despite being down 2 Mountain Drakes, despite, I was going to say down in kills, but they're actually up in kills now.
Yeah, it makes sense because they were always, Vladimir was always going to be stronger in teamfights if the game got to this point. 26 minutes into the game, he's already gotten 3 items under his belt. And LeBlanc really couldn't get going after the early laning phase. Sure, they had the early gold advantage in terms of they were constantly roaming Caitlyn towards tower after tower after tower, and they're really getting a lot going for themselves. But they haven't been able to push that forward. And they're just waiting for Caitlyn to become relevant here, and I feel like that's going to be a never-ending wait.
Yeah, that's the last Whisper finally finished up for SMLZ, so maybe he can do some damage against Kabe and Clid and Ali. But as you said, we talked about it earlier, Qiao Gu wanted to stall the game out so that Doinby could get big, and OMG needed to try to force some objectives so that that wouldn't happen. Well, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we're at a point right now where Qiao Gu are really comfortable with the position here. They're comfortable because there's, sure, yeah, they don't have any more outer turrets. The mid lane outer turret is still up and available for OMG, but you know that's just waiting for them to, Qiao Gu to just cash out.
Yeah.
In fact, that's just a trap because before they were looking for that flank behind that turret.
It's a quick trip to the bank.
Yeah, you know, if Caitlyn's going to try and defend her that turret, guess who Doinby's going to check out on? He's going to get the tower gold, and he's going to get the Caitlyn gold. So you just have to watch out if you're OMG.
You can see so many pings coming out. Doinby,
there we go, get that Caitlyn gold.
Just walks into the back, but steps on a trap.
Okay.
Tier 1 finally falls. It's 2-3 in terms of turrets.
He didn't even output that much damage, but he was able to heal out quite a bit just from using his ulti on top of SMLZ in 5. So that's quite a bit. And he finally has his Zhonya's now. So that's just a lot of disruption in these fights.
We'll have to keep an eye on Doinby's success later on, as this is just a workout for him. He's stretching his champion pool muscles.
He is.
He's showing, hey, I play Karma, I play LeBlanc, I play Ryze, but I also play things you've never even dreamed of. Yorick mid, get on it, Doinby.
Oh, no. But I do agree. I think 7.3 has made a lot of changes that, for instance, like LeBlanc. LeBlanc used to be that champion you'd never want to see up in pick and ban. Like, why is it even up and available?
Yeah.
And it seems like teams are getting comfort. I mean, before, at the very beginning of this play, it was Ryze or nothing. If some teams would be like, sure, we'll leave it open if Ryze is up and available and we'll pick it up for team fights. But even then, you would see LeBlanc just outright carry games. Now we're getting to a point where these small buffs and small nerfs coming through, and experience, mostly experience, because a lot of the bans, not only were the bans happening in competitive play, but in solo queue, you can definitely believe it was happening in scrims as well. You just don't get to play up against LeBlanc, so there's no familiarity in the matchup. So now they're getting a lot more familiar with the matchup. Now that the changes are coming through negatively for LeBlanc, this is very doable.
If anyone knows what it's like to lose with LeBlanc, it's Doinby.
That's true, actually.
He's the one who's done it twice.
Yeah. That's an experience he doesn't want to showcase.
Well, he does for OMG. He's like, hey, you think this champion is great? Let me show you the hard counter. As Ocean Drake respawns, OMG are able to sneak over the pit with SMLZ in World 6, trying to pull that dragon a bit closer.
Ooh.
Headshots over the wall, but Clid is there. And they've still got some vision of the wall. SMLZ fires a shot. Clid, his smite is true. Icon is going to try to follow up, but there's a quick shield to keep Klid safe.
Yeah, so that was just a little bit unfortunate. World 6 was definitely not caught out going inside, but Klid had the state of mind to be able to go in and check. And so, you know, he was gifted with a half HP Baron. So he's like, yeah, I'll finish this one up for you.
Ocean Drake.
I said Baron, didn't
You did?
Oh, no.
I was like, that's a little bit more explosive.
Yeah,
Oh, the teleport's right there. He's got no. Whoa!
There we go.
That's a tragedy. The snare from maximum range as Candy7 lands 2 bullets, locks down Qiao for the 4th. And Qiao will die to Kabe as Doinby and Ali look over from above. That tank is now dead. Baron is on the map, but OMG are here.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Qiao are definitely going to be confident enough to be able to pick this up. And you know Doinby and Ali are ready for a team fight if it goes through. But man, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, the bubble finds Ali as Doinby zones away the entirety of OMG almost single-handedly. Kabe drops a shield, but Doinby doesn't need it. He's at full health. He turns over to World 6 and says, this is what Vladimir can do. If only this guy had a bit more CC in his kit, he could lock them down and really get a few kills.
You know what? That would be a little bit broken.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is a big win for Qiao. They're going to just reset pressure, go right back. The only one who really doesn't have that much HP is Ali. And Vladimir is just going to be able to get HP for free. That's in his kit. So,
yeah, they're continuing to get some damage onto this Baron as they're going to force the same exact play once again. Nobody died last time. Sonic Wave soaked by the Edge of Night. Doinby going to zone away the rest of the team. They have no vision of the pit. Doinby eats some damage as he is going to take a lot from the Cull. He can't heal, but that's the Zhonya's. World 6 is dead. Baron secured. Doinby so low, but is shielded, and Icon cannot finish him off. The Grievous Wounds are doing so much work, and Icon wants it. Icon wants it so bad, but he just can't get it.
How did Doinby survive from that entire affair? He was able to heal up. I mean, he had no healing up. He just had the Zhonya's, and he had to stay still. But he was able to burn up enough time for Qiao to get the Baron, and he's going back with his own life as well. That's a major win for Qiao.
That's Baron secured at the 32-minute mark. Qiao demonstrating, yes, they still have got the control. Despite an amazingly confident early game from OMG, incredible pressure, turret advantage, dragon advantage. Qiao just waited it out, knew that they had their mid-game power spikes, and were able to come back off the back of Doinby. He's level 17, 30 minutes in. This guy is huge.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of solo experience in the side lane. That's been a big point for him. And then, of course, the kill experience. He has 5 kills in his...
yeah, he's pretty big.
Yeah, he's doing quite a bit. Once he gets to level 18, I mean, it's just going to work some years. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he just goes for a last item, Spirit Visage. It's just going to get a little bit grindy. So right now, yeah, they got the tower for themselves. It's a pretty good start. They're just going to keep going.
Bottom tier 1 goes down as Qiao continue to press forward onto the tier 2, bringing in a big minion wave with a lot of those caster minions. They've got 4 members there, and Kabe's got to stand united. So should a fight break out, Qiao would be more than ready. Qiao tries to force it, but instead is just going to zone Qiao back.
They're just waiting up until Shen can get the damage on the top tower. So here comes the wave. I guess he's going to play this a little bit safe. Just go for it right now. And there we go. There's no reason for Qiao to move up until they see an extra member dealing with Shen. It's all about Shen on this one.
The bubble's actually going to catch Doinby. Icon gets into the back and finds some good damage, but there's no follow-up.
They're going for it.
Doinby goes in and gets right into the back along with Kabe. That's World 6 going down. 5 will drop as well. Doinby chases SMLZ. Does he have enough? The Mortal Reminder's doing so much. Doinby bit off too much more than he could chew.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt, man. But Caitlyn's definitely doing a lot of damage here.
Klid's looking for the outplay. He gets caught by the ethereal chains, and Icon will just let him off with a warning this time.
But yeah, that was a great dive from Qiao. Sure, Vladimir went down, but that's what you want to get. That's 2 for 1, all in all, and a lot of towers down for you. Yeah,
the bottom tier 2 finally drops. Top tier 2 is very low, and Kabe still has his teleport, and is already almost half of that cooldown off of that Stand United. But Candy7 leads the charge with Klid onto this mid-tier 2 turret. SMLZ is doing work, he's doing damage, but he can't get to the minions in the back.
Yeah, and oh, wait a minute. Yeah, just block for that. Here comes... They use that to try and smite him down. Overall, Braum has been able to make it a lot easier for them to take these towers. he's just been shielding up and just walking onto every single trap. And
Yeah.
it just seems like he's able to just nullify a lot of the damage, or just like nullify the first one, but then just be able to reduce the rest. So that's been incredibly helpful for the team.
Suddenly that Braum ban doesn't sound so silly. So Lee is showing some real work on it. 1-0-7 right now, soaking so many hits for his team. And with Doinby respawn, you can see he's 2,500 gold ahead. Candy7, despite being nearly 1,000 gold behind, is still able to get some work done on these turrets. Kabe, not on that Maokai, but against it, 3,000 gold up.
Yeah, he's been doing such a damn good job. He got an MVP in the last game.
Yeah.
And he's on Shen again, and he's going to get just as hard to be able to get the taunts through. He is so decisive. He's a breath of fresh air for Qiao, and honestly, just to come in as a rookie top laner for his team, it's really beautiful to be able to see a top laner work that effectively.
Elder Dragon is up in 15 seconds. Qiao have had excellent control of their vision of the pit and of that side of the map. Kabe's already prepped with Teleport and Stand United, keeping Xiang occupied. But here comes a freshly topped off Ali with a whole new set of wards and 3 control wards as well. As Doinby preps the minion wave, Qiao are going to start off on this Elder Dragon.
Yeah, and just take a look at Candy7, who's on top of it. Actually, you have to look at Doinby, who's right behind
They're
the
all going to collapse on Doinby.
Yeah.
They're all going to collapse on Doinby. Sure, they're going to be able to kill one.
Oh
Perhaps Doinby doesn't get one an answer, but the Elder Dragon, it's actually been sacrificed. Doinby is single-handedly going toe-to-toe with four members
Save that man.
of Qiao. He finally goes down, but here comes the rest of Qiao. Ali and Klid get in there, but they committed so much for one kill.
Yeah, that was really weird. I mean, they didn't even finish the Elder Dragon, so they all went in to try and help him. So at the end of the day, Doinby went down for nothing. So the investment has to be for this.
World 6 is on the way. He's got his smite and flash, but no collateral damage. And Qiao decide that they don't want to risk it against the double Mountain Drake of OMG. The combo from Graves could just be too risky.
That was all flashy from Qiao. That was really flashy from Doinby to be able to see, oh, you know, he's going for a 1v5, but the result is bad for Qiao. They didn't get the Elder Dragon. They lost the kill, and he's coming up back in 10, 15 seconds. Overall, OMG are able to get control here. And that's what you don't want to lose if you're Qiao.
Qiao still have that one-game buffer. Teleport used by Xiang. The double Mountain Drake is doing so much. Still no sign of Doinby as the teleport is going to complete as the Elder Dragon goes down. They're trying to fight. A huge knockup is going to stall them out, but that leaves Klid behind. Ali flashes to safety as the teleport from Xiang means that he has got to retreat from the slows of SMLZ.
This is going to be a big chase, but you know what? That's going to be good. The longer the chase, the better for Kabe and the rest of his team. They just want to have that Elder Dragon really burn itself out.
Yeah, just trying to chase up to Kabe. He's going to lead them on a merry chase indeed. 45 seconds for that Baron, so Kabe's going to have to buy some time before it's up. And with Klid dead and now the Guardian Angel popped, an excess of traps and bubbles just in case he decides to sidestep. Baron is going to be on the docket for OMG, and with that Elder Dragon already under their belt, they could look to turn that advantage even bigger.
Xiang is just in there. They don't want to go on to Xiang because they definitely lost their tank in the top lane for Kabe, and Klid is down as well. They don't have the numbers here, and so right now OMG have taken control. They're in position. They already have the Elder Dragon, and they're going to be able to use it to go for Baron. If this is the case, then OMG is able to take the control of the game once more. It's going to be up to Qiao to somehow stop this.
Klid is there, he's got his smite, but against Elder Dragon double Mountain, this Baron's going to go down so fast. Already down to half health in just a few seconds. Klid is there. That's going to be the curtain call. Lands to cross. He's going to find Candy7. Klid goes in. They're forcing the fight instead. It's down to 850. Baron is secured by Klid. He's going to try to make it out of the wall, but in fact, he will end up going down. Ace in the hole onto Candy7 as he leaps away, and Icon decides not to chase. Doinby has died as well, but this push from OMG has been halted.
Klid gets the steal. That's all that matters here. There was no way Qiao were going to be able to take the fight. It felt like the game was out of their grasp at that point. Elder Dragon into Baron. That seems like it. Finished to that book, but steals the Baron.
Yeah.
That's it. Qiao have found themselves to keep back into this game.
Despite the fact that SMLZ is playing out of his mind, that Icon having difficulty against Doinby, but still finding assassinations against Candy7. It's OMG who are stymied once again by Qiao. All progress halted as the Baron buffed minions reclaim that lane control. Kabe shoving up top, Candy7 shoving up mid, and you're going to bet your money Doinby's going to head back bottom to deal with Qiao.
Yeah, so this is the game back into Qiao's favor. Elder Dragon is close to coming off, so that's a problem for OMG. It's already off just there, just finished up. So now they don't have it anymore. That one burst of strength that OMG were really banking on, translating into a Baron, it all fumbled into that one Baron play. So now it looks really tough. Qiao lost that entire play simply because, you know what, one point of indecision from between Doinby and the rest of his team. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, actually Protobelt's the wrong direction for some reason.
Morelos, he did that for the wave, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give it.
Morelos is finished up for Icon, so he will finally be able to get the Grievous Wounds if he can get Doinby below 40% health, whereas SMLZ has finished his Mortal Reminder a long time ago. So finally they have a way to deal with this Vladimir. Doinby has shown he can definitely play around that. He recalls to get himself back up to full health before rushing right back down the mid lane. Kabe's holding bottom as Candy7 and Clid keep the minions occupied up top.
Yeah, and honestly, Doinby has gone into a full AP Vladimir. I was expecting a little bit tankier going into Spirit Position. That's always been a Vladimir special. But he just wants to do damage. The Luden Echo came in fairly late, so that's really interesting to see from him. That means that the... Ooh, he's going to go for it. Yeah, that just means that he takes so much damage.
Doinby uses the Sanguine Pool very early. He's caught by the knockouts.
Oh
on
my
his buying some
God.
time, but Ali is getting nuked down. Doinby forced to flash away. He's trying to heal himself back up, but Qiao follows. Icon gets in there. Candy7 is dishing out what damage he can, but now Doinby is dead. It's all up to Candy7, and he is running for the hills to try to get out of this one. Kabe buys some time, but it is not enough. OMG are 5 versus 2 right now, and at 40 minutes, they could try to take more than just a tier 2.
OMG's front to back is just much better. Vladimir got caught out, and he just got completely bursted. If you look at SMLZ in that entire fight, he just murked them. The traps really did a lot of damage onto Doinby and the rest of them, so they couldn't really handle it.
Yeah, they're going right onto that tier 2 turret. Still 30 seconds before Doinby gets back up, and Elite 10 before he can catch up with his AD carry. They're now pushing onto this inhibitor. Defense pings coming out of Candy7 and Clid. Do they have enough to keep it standing? That's going to be the curtain call, but that makes Candy7 a very immobile target. The bullets are being fired across, and Icon's trying to bait it. But the 4th bullet instead will just tag Qiao on the way out.
They're just trying to buy as much time as possible. 4 seconds on to Vladimir. He's going to be coming up right now. Kabe is going to take a little bit of time. Maybe they're just going to go for it.
Clid's actually engaging. Doinby's back up and racing out of the base. Kabe's up in just a few seconds. Does have his Stand United already back up. Clid continues to chase. He's actually teleporting to the back line, not using the Stand United, and as a result, his jungler is dead. Yes, Kabe, you have flanked them, but how are you going to get in?
Yeah, right now Caitlyn is super hard to deal with. Unless if you're Ali. But yeah, he just does so much damage, and the problem with that too is that Lee Sin was trying to buy as much time as possible. If you just get trapped and killed, it's done. And so at this point right now, you have to watch out. Caitlyn is completely full build.
I apologize. In fact, Stand United was not off cooldown. It did just come off of cooldown. Very hard to read Icon. So there was nothing he could have done to save Clid. Clid just got overzealous.
Okay.
Yeah. But 44 minutes into the game. Dead even in kills. Dead even in gold. Dead even in turrets. 2-2 in Dragons. This game is really close.
Yeah, it really just comes down to one mistake or the other. Right now, it comes down to how Doinby plays this Vladimir. He cannot play front to back here. He needs to be able to go in for a proper flank. That's really what they need. Clid's back up now. If he goes for... Like, they just need to be able to find a way to puncture the front line of OMG to get into SMLZ. If they can kill SMLZ... Right now, Icon's doing a bit of damage too, but SMLZ is just popping off.
Yeah, SMLZ is absolutely huge. Full build. A full 90 CS ahead of Candy7. And as a result, you can see Candy7 not, in fact, full build. Doinby is going to find Icon and turns right back. The chain is going to do a lot, but he pulls nice and early to make sure he dodges the damage.
Yeah, Icon's going to feel really comfortable right now in this matchup. He's doing a lot of damage, and he has the range to be able to cut around the Vladimir. Vladimir is incredible, especially, but if Vladimir can get a proper flank, that's the worry. But he needs to back right now, so right now OMG are just trying to do their best to pressure up.
Yeah, Kabe's looking for the flash shadow dash. but you know that SMLZ has got his eyes open for it. Doinby finally is able to catch up as minions are starting to shove in through the top side, and now Icon seems to be splitting on top of Kabe to keep him occupied.
Yeah, Icon just needs to stop these flanks from coming through.
Trap line is set. Candy7 is going to try to get in there as Doinby uses the Proto Belt just a bit too early. That means his burst combo is smaller. The kick onto SMLZ. He flashes, but Doinby is snared. They're trying to get in, trying to break through Qiao.
Oh my god.
But this is so much damage. That's SMLZ going down. That's going to be 5 dropping as well. Elite chases and lands the slow. They're able to finish off Xiang. His GA is popped, and Icon is trying to retreat, trying to save his tank, but there's nothing he can do. There's just so much burst damage from Qiao.
Kabe is a beast in this game. He just netted the kill on SMLZ. Icon's trying to buy some time here and threaten this, but that's too much. Just push it down mid. You were able to get 3 kills here in 30 seconds on the death timers for both SMLZ and 5.
Yeah, Baron's up in 20 seconds with Elder Dragon 2 minutes after that. World 6 going for a very safe recall deep outside of the vision of Qiao, but they don't have their eyes on an inhibitor. They've got their eyes on the Baron.
Yeah, they're going to go straight for it. This is going to be coming up in 3 seconds, and there's no way OMG are going to be able to stop this unless you get a miraculous steal. But you know what? I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, there is just not enough time on the map for them to get to that Baron. Nasher, as he spawns, goes down, and once again, Qiao find themselves with the advantage. But this is very late into the game. It just comes down to one team fight.
And just take a look at Kabe. I mean, Klid started this up, and it looked really solid. Doinby had to fast, but just take a look at him being able to get right in there. Boom, he was able to go right in. SMLZ couldn't really do much. He was in a really tough spot right there. So the moment they were able to get right onto SMLZ, at that point, it's over.
Once again, Klid coming up huge with the late game Lee Sin kick. This guy is a god on the Lee Sin.
Yeah, he was able to get on top of him, so that was great from Klid. Whenever you see Lee Sin on top of him, that's great. So Lee Sin, of course, priority for a reason between these two junglers.
Yeah.
Whenever they get that proper kick, he can do wonders.
Seems like Qiao hesitant to use that Baron offensively right now, as they know how volatile this game can be. The huge high damage composition out of OMG could really put a damper on their ability to take things back. As Doinby is going to take a minor hit there. Elder Dragon is up in 20 seconds. Icon from the side finds just a bit of damage.
Yeah, Icon is flirting with death a little bit. He's got to relax it.
There's not a lot of hard CC that could catch him unless there's a reaction Shadow Dash from Kabe. And he's on the other side of the map pushing a tier 2. Qiao returned to the same strategy. They've got Stand United and Teleport ready. But with Elder Dragon up against Double Mountain, this is a risky fight.
Yeah, I guess the only fear is just that if Qiao catch that coming and try to get any form of damage onto LeBlanc before you combo into NW, that's about it.
Oh, and OMG are not responding to this. They're heading back to the mid lane. There's no vision. As they manage to pull the Elder Dragon out of the pit, they should know that this is happening, but instead, they give it up for dead, and Qiao are going to take the Elder Dragon without contest.
Baron, Elder Dragon, that's all you really want right now. There's not, at this point, you don't even need to back. I think Shen is going to, but there's no real reason for it. You just need to get the pressure onto it, and just look at that gold track.
Yeah, so volatile. OMG Qiao, OMG Qiao.
This could be the next way.
Seesawing back and forth. They see the ward go down, but they don't quite have the attack speed to clear it. Kabe with a quick recall heads back mid lane. Baron's still up for another 70 seconds, and they've got Elder Burn for another 2 minutes.
What's going to be tough about this is that Shen is coming back from base, so it's either Qiao goes in all in for a 5v5. Whew, that'll burn a little bit. Either they go in for a full 5v5, or they are patient and wait for Shen to shove in mid. It looks like that's just going to be the case here. Yeah,
Doinby catches up with Kabe. They managed to bring in only 5 minions, 1 single cannon. Here comes the next wave, but Icon's already up there doing some wave clear, and World 6 is there as well. The bubble catches Doinby. He pulls nice and quick to make sure no follow-up TC can lock him down. Doinby gets caught just a little bit more by a trap, but doesn't take too much harass. The push bottom temporarily forgotten in the excitement of that crowd control, but Candy7 is ready and already clearing out the next wave.
Yeah, they're pulling people just in case if a fight does come out because it feels like it will, but they lose track of the wave, and so this is just getting stalled out completely. And it should two-prong, here we go. They're going to be able to get a lot of damage on this bottom.
Yeah, World 6 is already chunked to half, but the damage Candy7 is doing. He's got to back away from this, though. as they lose the bottom and mid inhib. Again, another double bubble from 5. SMLZ already lands the Grievous Wound.
They're going to go for it.
Doinby is going to try to force the fight. Very aggressive. He doesn't have a lot to heal up, but he's going to buy time for the rest of his team. And that's Icon on the back line on top of Candy 7, but he's not protecting his team. Ignite is going to be tossed onto him as well, but there's just nothing that he can do. Yes, he gets the kill onto Candy 7, but will he be able to escape? The answer is, in fact, no. Taunt is going to land onto Qiao as Doinby continues to chase, but Qiao Gu, they've killed 3 at the cost of 1.
This got to be game right here. 3 down, Icon World 6 and 5. Only SMLZ and Qiao. Maybe they can look to try to go for it.
He's going to have to show us something real special here. SMLZ is firing as many shots as he can, but Ali and Clit are so tanky. It's all their damage shredding through. Doinby is taking some big hits, but there's nothing he can do. The Shadow Dash is going to land. He flashes back. SMLZ is trying to turn it around, but Qiao Gu are on the Nexus. They follow up onto SMLZ, and he goes down. Kabe with the shield to keep him safe as they turn to finish off the Nexus. Qiao looks on in horror as his team is defeated.